I'm Nic Harcourt. I'm here at the station at the SoCal Sound, and we have Gabriels in the house. Good to see you guys.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going? Howdy.
Thank you so much for coming in. I've got Ryan, Avi, and Jacob.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about the band, how you got together. I know you're from very different backgrounds. I don't know who wants to start. You're from LA.
I'm from LA. He's from LA.
He's from LA. He's from Sunderland in the north of England, which
Yeah.
I went to once. I was lucky to get out alive, I think.
It can't be that bad. Everyone talks about it. Have you met his family and his friends? It can't be that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad if you know them.
Yeah. So who wants to start? I mean, you moved to LA, right, about 7-8 years ago?
Yeah, 11 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here for a minute. And yeah, I moved here because I was directing music videos.
Right.
And then I was directing commercials as well. And anyway, I was here doing a music video for Pharrell and 2 Chainz, and I met this guy who was helping me in the director's bureau of the company I'd signed to. And that's where I heard Ari's music on a short film that he'd made. And then I went to his apartment. I kind of stalked him, in the words of the man of God.
So was the original idea you wanted to use his music?
Well, I used to make techno, basically. I kind of still do. I was making tunes for fun, as a hobby.
Right.
And so I had a bunch of drum machines and synths, and I was moving to LA and I needed a studio. So I'd heard his music and I loved his music, basically. It was kind of the sort of type of stuff that was on the short film. I felt bad because I didn't really comment on the lads' film. I commented on the music.
Great music.
Yeah, I did. I was like, who made the music?
Right.
And that's how I met Ari, because he told me that Ari, his friend, knows some studios.
Right.
And so basically I went around and met Ari, and then we kind of hit it off straight away, started making tunes together. He took me around his studios. He hooked me up with a studio in North Hollywood. And it was like a lock-up garage kind of thing. And so I moved all my drum machines and synths, and then we started making music together.
Got it.
Just for fun, really. And that developed into us making music for film, which is where we met Jacob on a film project.
Dun, 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 dun. Jacob.
And I was uninterested. I wasn't uninterested. I was just busy with life, and I had some ups and downs. I was kind of on on what I considered an up. Where we are now makes it look like a low.
But he had a history that we didn't really. I mean, it was funny because he had a history in the game that I didn't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was just this thing where he just came to the casting, and that's how I just thought they were amazing.
Well, you were in a choir.
My aunt, who's not really my aunt, she asked me that she was just trying to she was just trying to get a job. So, like, actors are just trying to get acting jobs.
Sure.
That's it's a commercial. I was doing the same.
Yeah.
So she was trying to get a job.
This is Los Angeles.
Yeah.
She's an actress. She was trying to get a job. And so I had booked a whole lot of singing things because I sing. So, and she was like, can you help me? Because you clearly got some magic thing. I hadn't really done any like TV or commercials like that. And I went on 4 auditions and I got all of them.
Wow.
So she was like, what the f are you doing?
I'm going to hitch my...
So she was like, help me. And I was like, fuck off. I didn't say that. But I like that word now. Maybe I've been around the English people too much, but I like saying that a lot. So I didn't want to do it. And then she kind of and so I took the church choir. I don't know if I actually sang in the audition, but we're all kind of musically psycho. So I'm musically psycho. So the choir was tight, to be clear.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it was.
They were tight.
I have no doubt.
Got the job.
Yeah.
We got this. And they were like, and I think the difference is too with those kind of things, there's like professional people. So all the actors get all their union friends and then they bring in, and they're like very professional and very polished.
Sure.
And we were polished as well, but these were like normal people. They were the pastor, his wife hopped in the choir, was a plumber, retired people, a hairdresser. Like it was, people took off work to come because and I think the energy that we gave was probably different as well because they were excited. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna be in a movie. We're gonna be on TV."
Sure.
It was that kind of energy. Oh, okay.
Everyone
great.
was lovely.
Yeah, everyone was just so excited to be there.
Everyone was chill, lovely. Yeah.
So it was a different, and I think anyway. So we booked it,
And we had some good choirs in that day. I'll be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone. It wasn't like it was a pretty amazing cast. It was a really big job at the time. When I won the job, it was definitely something that helped me out financially. I was broke at the time, really.
Oh, so it was a good gig for you to learn.
It was an incredible gig.
Right.
Yeah. So it was good for us. Yeah.
And I knew, and the other choirs, because all the little singers, don't know if you've heard actors talk about it, but like when they go to an audition, all the actors that they know, you kind of look alike, so you know. So all of the singers in LA were at the audition.
Got it.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe.
So it was very like, and so you're kind of like, oh, let's see who gets it, da 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 da. And I don't think we went this deep into the story before. So they booked our choir, our church choir, which was just average Joe people, and then they added some of the other people from the other choirs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you realize, so he put me in charge. And I was like, what the fuck? Or both of them put me in charge. I was like, why did they do this to me? Now, I don't know if he realized it or not, but I knew the other because we all know each other. And they weren't really surprised. I think they were under the assumption that this was like somehow we all knew each other. We had a thing. I don't know if I guys ever told you guys this.
Oh, whoa.
But some of the other singers who you brought, they were like, oh, this is Jacob's thing and Jacob's, because I've done some work and stuff before.
Because you were doing all of it.
But they didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting kind of like full circle moment. I was like, oh, this looks like I didn't hire these people and I have not.
Because it was cool. It was like
been a fun day on set.
Well, that was the thing. I was just because I used to make music with just drum machines and stuff. I didn't know anything about music. So I just started like, because I've learned everything from music from these two. Do you know what I mean? This is like my music. I didn't know anything. I didn't literally know anything about even chords, nothing, right? Like I didn't know anything. I just knew I had these things that made these sounds.
Yeah, you could
And
press
I just
buttons
thought, like,
and
this
the
sounded
sound
cool.
would come
Like,
out.
You know what I'm saying? So like when I met Ari, it was like I pretty much got taught everything. Over
Well, you
that.
met a musician who plays an instrument.
Well, a good one.
Yeah.
There's plenty bad ones. And so anyway, basically the thing was I learned everything from him and him. So he, like, I remember when Ari, when I was making this, I remember when Ari was the one who really put Jacob in charge. Because like he would like recognize pretty quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like his ability and talents and everything.
I would have put him in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight away.
No, you would have put.
Well, he was just saving it because I had to record it, really, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, you knew how to like kind of put it together." I remember
he
on
started
set,
working
I was on the floor with my laptop, and we were like recording them,
But it was cool.
through the like
That was
sound
the beginning
guy's
of, like-
rig, and then I had to kind of take what they had done and edit it and arrange it into like what fit for the commercial.
So what was
add
this for?
music
What was the
and stuff.
project?
It was for like a protein powder thing.
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
like-
so
Yeah,
It
Right.
was like
Right.
basically like
Right.
yeah, it was like they're working out, and
Right.
this choir is like it's the voices in your head like telling you to
Oh,
quit.
yeah, I got
and
those.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was.
So
Now, interestingly enough, most people don't know this. As a young
So weird.
person, I didn't want to be a singer. I wanted to be a choir director. So like choir, like that's like my fun place. So
Yeah, yeah.
I turn into like a crazy person.
Wow, so we got 2 directors in the band already.
No. I cannot.
There's 3 if you go.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, but
Yeah, it is. No, we all, the 3 of us do have that. Yeah, it's true.
So obviously that day, magic happened.
Yeah, like honestly, it was the beginning of what this is.
Yeah.
It's very like really weirdly, we've all kind of like just grown in our own ways in this thing and doing it, but that still is very much the dynamic actually.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like that's where I don't know. You enjoy. Yeah, it's weird how I fell into that very early, but then to think about like God, that room that day and now what we're doing now is kind of a trip. Yeah.
It's like a mega cyclone, if that's even a thing.
I'm sure it is.
So like,
Yeah.
there's like Hurricane Jacob, Hurricane Ari, Hurricane Ryan.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
the 3
And then they come, and then they just, and we're all like doing stuff,
I know.
and we all kind of like, and we don't really step on each other. I feel like it's very rare that I'm stepping on him, or like it's very like we just move in this way. That's
Honestly, it's nice to feel like for me, like when I come, like, oh, that the music's covered. Because shit just gets covered and done because people just like I know that they've got that shit's always going to be great, you know. And I feel like I've been spoiled in that way. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a band where I never need to worry about that.
So-
never need to worry about that.
So how did it develop from that to beginning to make music together and to writing music, writing lyrics?
So our Ryan invited me. I think they had been hanging out and doing music at his house in the desert
Yeah,
for a while.
that
Yeah.
was a
And then
cosmic time.
and then he invited and then he invited me out. So you've lived in LA for a while. So I say this a lot now. So he invited me to Palm Springs. Well, it was Palm Desert, but same thing, right?
Yeah, same.
He invited me to his place in Palm Desert. Like, you should come for a few days and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Now, Palm Desert. I'm like, oh, this is about to be like shroom heaven.
Yes.
Take me to the
This
wall,
is
man.
gonna be like party time. And I was like, I don't party at all. I don't drink. I'm pretty boring. But I have my own things.
Definitely
I'm
not
sure
boring.
you do.
I have my own little vices and things.
You don't.
But
yeah,
anyway,
I get it.
so but I was like, I don't know if I want to like go party and when you think of music and you think of that, so I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like Coke Central.
Hippies in the desert doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
True me.
Yeah.
It was the complete opposite. It was like a health retreat. He was making celery juice. And like he made this salad. I'll never forget it because I'm like, I don't want to fucking eat this shit. It was eggplant and avocado and
Squash.
yeah, it's squash.
I
Sorry,
like that salad.
but it was actually really good. And I was like, oh, this is maybe I could do some health. But in that, I think it might have been 4 or 5 days. We wrote this song called Wreath, and it was like sparse and it was like techno, but R&B, but
And like
pop.
sound design.
Yeah, and sound design. It was
like scoring.
yeah,
It was just honestly, it was pretty experimental really, when I look back. But
it was
yeah.
really special. It was something. Yeah,
But it was the first thing where we kind of like went in really deep on personal lyrics,
Yeah,
kind of just
exactly.
saying what
yeah,
you want to say
Right.
in a
amazing.
song, and then it just started to fit in. And
yeah.
it was a big step in our style of writing right now, if that makes sense, because it was nothing in terms of writing lyrics and just what are you trying to say and what's the point. That was like a cornerstone. If you
So,
like,
so how do you create? How do you write? I mean, I know that you write some deeply personal stuff. How do you write as a band?
Well, let me say one thing, and I got to say this about Wreath, and I want to say because I've never said it before. I sent Wreath. I don't even know if I ever told you guys this. That's probably why y'all stopped sending me stuff because I was sending it to people. I sent Wreath to my manager at the time. He was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I bet.
But it was the most
people, yeah.
exciting thing that I had ever recorded for me, and
For me too, honestly.
It was- yeah.
felt it was exciting. I'll be
Yeah,
real.
totally.
Like even
And
now, I listened to it recently. I listened to it a few weeks ago, and it was like that kind of moment. Then we went for years after that, sort of developing a proper style, because it was loose. It was these loose things, but the thing that like really stayed with us was really the lyric writing side of that. Is that like that's the thing that stayed from that moment of trying to get into a more just a relevant place of what's the point, why should anybody care, and how the lyrics that you say are going to help anyone.
I think the first I heard of you was a couple of years ago. You did a couple of EPs, I think, right?
yeah.
And now there's an album that is in 2 parts. Is that right? The first part came out last year. Second part's about to come out.
It's just an album at this stage.
Yeah, they're both together, part 1 and 2. It's just
Right.
one.
It's an album.
It's called Angels and Queens.
Yes.
Tell us about going from those early recordings to the EPs to actually an album.
To something you mentioned about as our writing thing, and I think it's apropos for the album as well. We really write the songs together, which is hard for people to wrap their heads around. But it's really like with the Wreath, Lord Jesus, with Wreath, and even with like Taboo, which is one of my favorite songs that we've done, or Remember Me.
Great Wind.
Great Wind.
I mean, all of them.
Yeah, it's all of our stories combined. Like it may seem more poignant to me because I'm singing it.
Sure. But you co-write the lyrics
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, that's not usual, I don't think.
No, it's not. But
yeah, I think
there's-
the overall process is not usual, but it's really cool. It's kind of this.
Well, whatever works, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Clearly it's
Yeah.
working.
Well, it takes a certain level, and this is the origin story is cool, but it's special because you can't have ego in that room.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work. Like, which is hard outside of the group, just being honest. But in the room with just us and nobody there, you can't have ego or you'll never get anything done.
Right.
And it has to go through 3 very different like stories. Like through our 3 different trajectories, our 3 different opinions, our 3 different things. So if it gets past the 3 of us, it ends up with a song.
And 3 different filters, the way...
That's what I mean.
Yes.
3
Yeah.
different filters.
And a lot of it is also like encouraging each other to
Yeah.
be themselves, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like if you feel something, you're like, whoa, I really feel that from you.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's not like it's like, oh yeah, I have to also feel that. You know, it's like, it's this interesting thing of like almost sections of songs come in different ways and then we put stuff together. It's really Yeah.
I know that in the last couple of years, things have really started to ramp up. Obviously, you've gotten some great attention here, but in particular in Europe and in the UK.
Yeah, Europe and the UK has been wild.
Yeah, I saw a clip of you doing Jules Holland, which I think was just recently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of times at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
It's
A
really
couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you played Glastonbury 2 years running, which doesn't
Which
happen.
never happened.
biggest
Right.
musical crowd ever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel at a festival.
So you said it. What did you call it? A mega cyclone?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on right now. I
But
mean,
that was what was funny. Even at Glastonbury, the festival, like the three of us are just being who we are naturally.
Right.
It was like we were kind of sort of all over the festival.
right.
Different parts of it, if that makes sense. Because the three of us are like obviously into different stuff and do different things as well. And it's like, it is weird to me that like I live here and how open Europe and the UK in particular, they're like, I mean, they love it. You know, I'm not being they do. And it's like amazing to see how like, I can't remember the last time like in America, like, because we live in America, right?
Yeah.
So really we're an American band. I'm an Englishman in an American band. That's the truth. But it's this thing where like I can't really remember the last time an American band like this was so well received in Europe or the UK. You know what I'm saying? I
do.
can't
Yeah.
name you one right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of an American band.
Yeah, it almost feels like we are a British
I
man.
feel
Yeah,
British.
I
You know what
see them as
but
that.
It's
That's-
it's like a weird.
That's it. It's like
And now we're like coming to America.
Yeah, that's what it feels
It's
like.
like-
Now we're gonna break America, but you know.
And they're so American. It's like fucking Chipotle, hot sauce on everything. They got like
Yeah.
they're Americans. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
I like
It's that
Chick-fil-A. Don't
American.
tell
It's
anybody.
like, you
I'm
know
not
what I'm
supposed to
saying?
eat it,
It's
but
like it's American. Like,
collard
I'm telling
greens
you.
and cornbread.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yeah.
I heard you talking about collard greens and fish and chips the other. Didn't you talk about that?
Yeah.
just a minute
So I
ago?
was gonna. So
Food's big on the chat list.
the English have their fish and chips.
You can't knock it, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I need to fry you.
Try 'em.
You got to fry it.
I need to fry you some like Louisiana, Atlanta,
Yeah.
Houston fish, a little catfish.
I'm in.
All right,
Sold.
and then you're gonna be like, oh,
So how's how's the show? Do you have mushy peas with that? I just want to.
no, you do not have mushy peas.
Okay.
No, there's no mushy peas. There's no vinegar.
Oh man.
So how does this how does this thing grow now, show wise? Because you know you've got the choir aspect, you've got an orchestral aspect.
Yeah.
How do you see this growing from the performance point of view?
Just naturally.
Yeah, I think the music is naturally evolving, and it could go minimal. It could go more, visual state. We do a lot of stuff. Ryan's like super involved with the visuals, the lighting. A lot of theatrical elements.
I think I think it's also a thing to note that I think part of why our growth has been the way that it has in Europe is because of the live shows. So like our
Definitely.
first live show was less than 2 years ago. It was 100 people in a basement at the Social. And then I think our last show has been a few thousand or whatever. And we've done, it was, the
Yeah, that was
festival.
literally less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was our first show.
So in our first live show, we had a we had timpani.
vibraphone.
We had a vibraphone.
We had three backing singers. We had like 9
upright bass
Right.
and this little bitty.
And
We
Oh
just
my
had
gosh, was in the toilet.
kind of the luck of this to have the support because
Yeah.
it kind of came out of COVID and we had never played and we were like, look, if we're gonna do this, this is how we want to do this. We
And
want to do it with a band. We want to kind of play it without not do like the karaoke thing where it's like you're singing to tracks. Especially early on, it felt like we wanted to show that we could play this
Cut the
music
chops, yeah.
and that it's real songs that can be like executed by musicians kind of thing. At that stage, that was our thing. And I feel like things have evolved now as we're making music. It's like the things as you grow from that, then you're opening up to more modern styles on the live thing. But I think we would always want to have that feeling of,
Yeah.
real
But yeah, 'cause-
delivering a song. And
Which was
that kind of
rare at
thing.
that time. I guess this was something what people were saying as well, like coming out of COVID to that point, is that people, when they come to these shows, like there was a crazy word of mouth thing that happened in London where everybody was saying like, oh, it's the real thing. It's like actually real musicians. It's real music. It's a proper band. It's
Yeah.
and it's been a minute. It's been a minute since a new
And people
band.
were hungry for that after
People
COVID
were
as
hungry
well.
for that.
after
They were hungry
COVID,
for some
yeah.
real connection, some real stuff. And
Yeah.
honestly, as mental as it was, and this is the thing, our manager, I will give him these. I will.
He
say
let
this.
us, because we had a couple of fights, because he was like, you want one singer? I said, no!
Yeah.
It has to be 3
Yeah.
or none.
We had a vibraphone.
Yeah, we went like 2, just all
we're
year.
All in and it peered off.
And not saying we'll never get rid of our band, but like in an age where artists are like not performing with their band, we had and even the level at it, like we invested, like we styled the girls out of our own pockets.
Definitely.
We styled myself out of my own pocket. Like it was very.
We used our own equipment.
use our own
It was like
equipment.
we're taking
Like
out
we're
Totally, yeah.
investing.
We still doing
We're
that.
putting
Right.
everything we have into this, whether it makes sense or not. We're just gonna make it the best that we can absolutely make it.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to play some songs for us, which I'm really excited to show everybody. And it's really cool to meet you guys.
Likewise.
I'm a
Thanks.
fan of the music. And when they told me that you guys were coming in, I put my hand up to do the interview. So continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank-